A long while ago I did a couple of videos on some Japanese CD sets, We Love Elvis Volume 1 and Volume 2. And today I'm finally going to get around to showing you Volume 3. I've also got another Japan-only CD compilation to show and talk about, which at first glance is less interesting, but it does actually contain a lot of unique mixes that you can't find on any other authorized CD. So let's start with the CD set. We Love Elvis Volume 3. And I'm not a fan of Elvis artwork, but the chap who did that clearly was very talented. They also used the same artist for the front of the Volume 2 case as well. This is basically a thin card slipcase. All the songs there on the back. It's a 60-song 3 CD set, just like the first two. And it was also compiled in the same way. What happened was the Fan Club of Japan, they did a survey among the members, Japanese fan club members, and they chose their favorite 60 songs from the songs which had not been chosen for the first two sets, obviously. So this is actually a best of the rest, if you like. The songs are arranged chronologically. There are not many 50s songs on here. Only 9, including Mona Lisa, recorded in Germany in 1958. So each CD has its own booklet, and there's not much to see on the inside. It's just lyrics in English and Japanese. There are 27 songs from the 60s and 24 songs from the 1970s. It has another booklet here, Japanese language booklet, but there's a lot of interesting information in here. I'll try to tell you something about it. Where are we looking at here? Okay, so one of the things that it has in here is it gives you the lists. It gives you the results of all the polls, starting from the first poll, which resulted in Volume 1. So the most popular song among Japanese Elvis fans was Can't Help Falling in Love. And so the first 60 songs here were the ones that appeared on Volume 1, and then the next 60 appeared on Volume 2. And then the third 60 were the songs which appeared on this particular set in order of popularity. So as I say, the CD is arranged chronologically, but if you look at this list of songs here, you can actually see which songs were the most popular. So the most popular song on this set was actually Danny Boy, followed by Long Black Limousine and Sweet Angeline. Sweet Angeline, you never see that song on a compilation. So that's one of the good things about this set also. There are not very many hits on here, because most of the hits featured on Volumes 1 and 2. And you might say, well, David, how am I going to read all those Japanese song titles? Well, these days I think you can get like an app for a smartphone, and you can just scan these titles and it will give you an English translation. However, you've got to be careful, because the Japanese song titles are not always the same as they are in English. So I've chosen a few examples here for you. See if you can guess what these are. One song on this set is called Heartache in Japanese. So if you translate the Japanese title back into English, it becomes Heartache. Another one is Wishes for Tomorrow. And another one is Bridge to Tomorrow. Can you guess what they are? Answers later on. So by now you should have seen the track listings on the screen, hopefully, if I remember to put them up there. And I also went through some of the songs looking for some big songs which are not on here, not on any of the 3 volumes. And I found a few examples here. So Wooden Heart is not on any of the 3 volumes. Anywhere You Want Me is not on there. I Got a Woman. Just Tell Her Jim Said Hello, a big favorite of mine. And Even I Forgot to Remember to Forget is not on any of these 3 CD sets. Most disappointing for me is The Girl of My Best Friend, one of my favorite Elvis songs of all time, and the song that started my love of Elvis's music. That one was number 277 in the poll, so it doesn't make any of the 3 CD sets. Also in this booklet here, you do get some contributions from fan club members. And as well as their comments about Elvis, it includes their name and address, the sex, the occupation, how long they've been a fan, and how they became to be a fan. So I just thought I'd give you some of that information just to give you a flavor of the age of Japanese fans at the time and how they got into Elvis. So the first one on here is a 22-year-old man who's been a fan for 4 years, and he became a fan after watching an Elvis movie from the 50s. The next one is a 17-year-old man, also been a fan for 2 years and 10 months, and he said he became an Elvis fan after buying a CD called Best at 20 just on the spur of the moment. The next one is a 53-year-old woman who's been a fan for 11 years, and she said she heard Are You Lonesome Tonight. See if I can find one with a long fan history. Okay, this person here is a 64-year-old woman. She has or had been a fan for 38 years at the time, and she became a fan after watching the movie Love Me Tender. Here's another one, 58-year-old woman, been a fan for 38 years. She became a fan after listening to Heartbreak Hotel on the radio, so a real original fan there. So some great information in this booklet, and as I say, if you can get yourself one of those apps, you might be able to make some sense of that. Okay, so let's move on to the second CD set, and this one is called Eiichi Otaki's Jukebox. It doesn't look very promising, does it? Some illustration of a jukebox and a waterfall. Well, the reason for the waterfall is because it's on Niagara Records, although it's actually a BMG, a Sony release. And the reason why it's got the Niagara logo up there is because Niagara was the record label formed by this gentleman here, Eiichi Otaki. And he was a singer, musician, songwriter. He's quite well known in Japan. He was also a big Elvis fan, and he owned a jukebox. He died in 2013, and so in 2014, the year after, they released 3 CDs. And the CDs were basically compilations of the music that was on his jukebox. So this one here is the Warner Music Edition. So these are obviously all songs on the Warner Music label. And then the other one is the Universal Music Edition. And then this one that we're looking at here is, as it says down here, the Elvis Presley edition. I'll just show you a picture of the man himself, which is on the inside. There he is with his jukebox. And on the right, left side there, you can see some of the jukebox strips. And you can see there they have Elvis songs on them. So according to the sleeve notes, this CD contains all 20 songs, or 10 records, 20 songs in total, that were on his jukebox, Elvis songs that is. And you get a Japanese booklet as well, and you get all the lyrics and the usual liner notes. So I'm going to show you what singles are on there by showing you the actual singles themselves. So the first one that's on there is Hound Dog, Don't Be Cruel. Now this particular single didn't come out like this, as a Hound Dog, Don't Be Cruel coupling, until 1962. This particular copy is from 1968. The next single on there is King Creole, which had Lover Doll on the B-side. This is a later pressing. And then GI Blues with Doing the Best I Can. If you ever come across one with this cover, it's sort of a brown tint. This one is from the mid-60s. You can also find it in this green, with this green insert. And then when they reissued it on RCA, it had a green RCA insert. So the CD also has Surrender and Lonely Man. It also has Rock-a-Hula Baby, Can't Help Falling in Love, return to sender. Where do you come from? Viva Las Vegas. What did I say? Kissing Cousins. It hurts me. Don't know why, but I don't have a copy of this with the insert, just without. Do the Clam. You'll Be Gone. And It Feels So Right. And Easy Question. So what's interesting about this particular CD, at least all the songs from GI Blues onwards, I'll show you by looking at the booklet here. If you look right down there, it says all tracks mono. So what they've actually used is the Japanese Victor mono single masters to make this CD. Now obviously you can get Hound Dog, Don't Be Cruel, King Creole and Lover Doll in mono on CD, but the other 16 songs, you'll be very hard pressed to find those in mono on CD. Authorized CDs anyway, that is. So yeah, keep a lookout for this one. This particular CD set is it's holding its value actually. It's difficult to find this one for a cheap price. But definitely worth having just for these mixes alone. Alright, well, you won't believe how long it's taken me to do this video today, stopping and starting, but I think I've got to the end. So I'm going to get out now while I'm ahead. If you've got any questions or comments, please feel free to drop them in the comment section below. But that's it for this video. Thanks so much. Thanks for watching. Cheers.